Hi, this is Greg with Lionquestfitness. Today we have the last video of 2020, and I'm going to tell the Weaver story. Also, we're going to shoot a Glock 19. But before we start, because a lot of the folks that follow this channel like revolvers, let me show you what I've been carrying a lot these days. And this is my Smith & Wesson 640 357 with a 2 1/8 inch barrel. As you can see, it has the shrouded hammer. And I've got the Altamont grips on this gun. Now this gun is a descendant of the Smith & Wesson Centennial that the legendary Rex Applegate helped design. And so it's kind of, to me, it's kind of a lineage that goes up to Rex Applegate. Now, I do shoot semi-autos. I do carry high capacity on occasion. But at this point in time, it really hadn't got bad enough for me to do it on a regular basis. Most times I'm only carrying a 5-shot snubby, and this is one I carry often. Now, let me show you one other thing I've been training a lot with. This is the cold steel yawara, and I don't necessarily carry this too often because it's very obviously a weapon. However, I train with the cold steel yawara, and I carry this mini mag because I need a flashlight often, but you can also use this just like you can a yawara. Now let's tell the Weaver story. And this story involves a Glock 22. Don't have a 22, but I have a Glock 19. Now, unload. Nothing in the chamber. Now this involves an old friend of mine. Back in the early 80s, he and I were security guards together. He was a big guy, kind of tall. And he and another buddy of ours, they both carried pythons. One of them had a blued python, the other had a nickel-plated python. And they called them the Python Brothers. Very good shots, both of them. Anyway, he went on to have a very good law enforcement career. You know, he became a forensics guy, did that for many years, taught at the Criminal Justice Academy, and later became the head of a forensic unit for a local county. Now, his career has spanned a lot of years, and he's seen and done a lot. But like everybody else with his department, he had to qualify every year. Okay, so my friend is shooting. And he's shooting in a Weaver stance. And the range instructor, who was young enough to be his son, came running over there. Stop, stop, square it up, square it up. You're not shooting a revolver anymore. So my friend said, come over here. He said, look at that target. Can you hit the target like that? Well, that young range instructor kind of hung his head and said, you shoot however you want. Now, the point of all this is occasionally I get a tactical wannabe will make comments about my shooting when I use the Weaver stance. And you know, any of you who follow my channel for a while, I shoot all kinds of ways. I do isosceles, I do Weaver, I do hip point, I do the old Rex Applegate, you know, single arm type shooting. You know, I learned to be flexible in how I shoot. And anybody that tells you there's only one way to shoot is wrong. And because, you know, people are different. You know, they have different heights, they have different limb lengths. You know, what works for one person's not going to work for another person. Take old Hickok 45, he uses the Weaver stance. Now, I've seen him try to demonstrate isosceles shooting, and it's quite comical because of how tall he is. You know, you work with your body and your natural capabilities, and a lot of instructors don't get that. But anyway, back to Weaver. You know, I use a lot of different stances, but when I do use Weaver, I usually get one personal comment, some tactical wannabe, talking about how I don't know what I'm doing because that's old-fashioned. Well, you know something, every stance, every grip has its applicability to different situations. You know? And Weaver will work better for some than others. It's more of an expert's type grip and stance. You know, and I don't recommend it for beginners, but if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. So we're going to end this. We're going to do a little bit of shooting at 10 yards. And I'm going to shoot this Glock and shoot using that old-fashioned Weaver stance. Well, at least I can hit the side of the barn using Weaver stance. Once I got it dialed in, that was my last 2 shots. I need to practice more with the Glock. But, you know, ammunition shortage being as it is, it's been hard to find practice ammo. Now, let me introduce a couple of young people. This is my granddaughter Chloe. This is my grandson Elijah. This is Juliet. And they want to wish you a belated
Happy New Year's Eve!
Well, how about Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas!
And I hope good fortune, and I wish good fortune to everybody watching this for 2021.
Love you all!
All right, let's see how that looks.
I can't tell. No, you're not allowed to touch.